April 17th is the 4-year anniversary of when I finished my breast cancer treatment. I'm very lucky as my cancer was found early due to a routine mammogram, and even though I get worried and scared every year during my mammograms, I was successfully treated. The earlier you find any issue with your health, the easier the treatment and the better is your outcome. This is why I decided to make a video on the diagnostic tests that save lives. About a year ago, during a routine colonoscopy, I was diagnosed with a malignant polyp, which is considered stage 0 colon cancer. Again, I was lucky because I didn't need any additional treatment as the polyp was removed during that colonoscopy. I do need to get checked out more often now as a result, but this is okay. As long as any major issue can be prevented, I'm all for it. I'm not a doctor and my recommendations are based on the current medical recommendations. The best person to advise you on what tests and exams you need is your physician. I highly recommend for anyone to go and do basic physical once a year. At that time, your physician will tell you what other tests you need based on your age, your health conditions, and your genetics. One important thing to remember is if you feel strange symptoms that you never felt before, you should go and speak to your doctor sooner than later. Let's talk about preventive health exams that can save your life. Hi, I'm Ala Shapiro, a spa owner of Two Woodhouse Day Spas in New Jersey. This is the Spa Runner channel where I cover topics such as health, wellness, and beauty. The first test is blood pressure screening. Blood pressure should be 120/80. You should check it once every 2 years starting at age 20, and for adults 40 plus, it's recommended that you do it yearly. This is important to prevent heart disease. If you find any value in this video, please give me a thumb up. It will make a huge difference in growing my channel. Stay until the end and I will tell you 3 ways how I decrease my cancer risks through lifestyle and diet. Number 2 test is cholesterol check. For 20 plus, you should have your cholesterol measured at least once every 5 years. Your total cholesterol level should be less than 200. If your reading is over 200, talk to your doctor how often to screen for cholesterol and how to address it. This is important to prevent heart disease. Beginning at age 21 and until you're 65, you should have a pap smear every 3 years. If you're 30 plus, you can have the test every 5 years if it is combined with the test for HPV. Again, if that test comes back positive, listen to your doctor's recommendation on how often you need to be rechecked. This is important to prevent cervical cancer. Number 4, mammogram checks for breast cancer. Always listen to your doctor on when you need to start it and how often. The recommendations are all over the place. I had my first mammogram at the age of 35 because my doctor felt something and he wanted to be sure that there was nothing there. Next one was at 40, and then I had annual mammograms. At age 44, I was diagnosed with stage 0 breast cancer. If I were to wait until 50 for my first mammogram, no one knows at what stage breast cancer I would have been at that point, but current guidance is to start at 50. I also recommend a 3D mammogram with ultrasound because sometimes mammograms alone do not show what ultrasound would show and vice versa, especially if you have dense breast tissue. Number 5, blood glucose test should be done starting around 45 to check for prediabetes. It should be done every 3 years. If you're overweight or have a family history of diabetes, you would like to start earlier and get tested more often. Number 6, colon cancer screening should start at 45 and be done every 5 to 10 years depending on the findings. If you have family history of colon cancer, your test may need to start earlier. That is why you need to speak to your doctor on what is appropriate age for you to start. This test prevents most of the colon cancers, and even though it is a bit invasive, is really not a big deal and saves a lot of lives. Number 7, body mass index should be checked starting at 18 and is a measure of you being overweight. The formula is kilogram divided by height in meters squared, and the normal range is 18.5 to 24.9. Number 8, skin examination. You can do it yourself by carefully examining the skin for any new moles or changes to the existing moles, which can be sign of skin cancer. Do have a dermatologist look at your skin once a year or so. Number 9, dental checkup should be done twice a year for good healthy teeth and gums. Dentists also can find mouth cancers, so that's important. Number 10, if you have access to a functional doctor, I highly recommend working with them to look at your gut health and supplementation you may need. Many diseases start from the imbalance in your gut flora. This is not a mainstream test yet, but more and more studies show the importance of your gut flora and your overall health. This is not covered by insurance. It is not for everyone. But if you have funds to do this, I highly suggest you do it. I personally worked with my friend, Dr. Ina, and we found issues that I'm working to address and supplement with probiotics. Number 11, eye exams. If you have no symptoms of vision problems, you should have a complete eye exam at age 40. If you wear glasses and contacts, or if you have a family history of eye disease, you need to have a yearly exam prior to the age of 40. After 40, follow your doctor's recommendations on how often to have eye exams. Eye exams not only check if you need glasses, but also for eye disease. As any disease, anything that is found earlier is better because it can be addressed with less complications and to prevent more eye problems. Like I promised at the beginning of the video, here are 3 ways I decrease my risk of cancer, recurrence, and new cancer. Number 1, exercise. Research shows that exercise is the best way to prevent cancer, and you do not need a lot. 30 minutes of elevated heart rate 3 to 5 times a week is all that you need. Number 2, eating lots of cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are different types of cabbages and greens such as broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, chard, and many more. Research shows that these vegetables prevent risk of cancer recurrence and new cancers. Number 3, wear your SPF daily regardless if it is summer or winter. Outside, skin cancer is very common, and SPF will prevent skin cancer. I did a video previously on SPF, and I wear SPF daily. I lied. I want to talk about 2 more things about cancer prevention. So number 4 would be don't smoke. I never smoked in my life, but smoking is one of the contributing factors to many different cancers. And drink less, not more. 1 glass a week is probably okay, but anything more will increase your risk of cancer. Your homework today is to schedule all needed doctor appointments based on this information. If you want to learn more about health, wellness, and beauty, watch this next playlist.